Arabia's Cycle of Life is the first documentary of its kind to journey deep into the natural environments of Arabia's mountain, desert, and coastal ecosystems. Arabia's Cycle of Life on Bridges TV.
Inspired by the hit play The Domestic Crusaders by Wajahat Ali, co-founders Imran Sheikh and Imran Javed formed a new theatre group, Parwaz Playhouse. The group's first play was Glass, which humorously explores the political conditions in the country, much like Pakistan. It played to packed houses at the Downtown Urban Theatre Festival in April this year.
Did it at the New Yorican in 2009, November, and then we were graciously accepted into the Downtown Urban Theatre Festival, where we performed it in April, end of April, and we sold out one of only 3 shows during the 2-week run of the festival to sell out to record audiences. They actually had to add an entire section to the audience seating, which just spurred us on and motivated us and showed us that there is a hunger and there is a need out there for our community's voice. And so here we are.
Comprised of Pakistani American writers, actors and directors, Parwaz Playhouse is said to be the first major Pakistani American theatre company in the United States. This group wants to give voice to South Asian community in America through theatre.
Not just obviously just for Pakistani Americans or Pakistanis. I mean, the point is to show that we're just like everyone else. Right. So when we do something like Eugene O'Neill, you know, sure, you know, the play is being adapted by Imran, who's Pakistani, and Eugene was an American-born, you know, Caucasian playwright, but we can use his work and still relate to it and still understand everything he's saying. We don't need to change things, except names and costumes. That's all it is.
The theatre group also wants to tap the hidden talent in the community.
So one day, after rehearsal, I went to Imran Javed and I said, "Hey, do you have a minute or so? I want to ask you something." And he said, "Okay, sure." And so I said, "What do you think about starting a theater company of Pakistani Americans?" Just pretty much like that, verbatim. And Imran Javed looks at me and he goes, and immediately I'm thinking, oh my God, this guy thinks I'm crazy. He thinks like I'm a nut job. And he, you know, is going to say just no to my face. And, you know, great. So he grimaces. And then he says, "I've always wanted to do that. I've always wanted to write plays for a theater company." And I go, kismet. You know, this is like, it couldn't have been written better.
But the organizers of the group insist that their first priority is producing good drama.
Our only standard is good drama, good theater.
Imran Javed, the playwright, is now working on the group's next project, the adaptation of Beyond the Horizon by Eugene O'Neill.
I know that when we did our, try to think about what's our first sort of feature-length play going to be, our thought was, you know, let's think about let's link ourselves up to the great tradition of American theater. So we said, okay, what is the first great play by America's first great playwright? And it really was Eugene O'Neill's Beyond the Horizon. It won the Pulitzer in 1920. People say it's the first American tragedy. So we looked at it and we thought, well, it's actually, you know, if we set it in Pakistan in the 60s, it actually kind of makes sense.
But Adil Ahmed, the associate artistic director of the group, says attracting the community has been a challenge.
It's an uphill battle. I mean, it's not going to be easy, and it hasn't been easy. I mean, we're all grateful that we were part of Domestic Crusaders. That gives us, you know, that experience really has helped us out to do what we want to do in the future. But it's still really hard because, you know, besides Domestic Crusaders, and all South Asian casts, I don't know how many times we see that on stage. That's not something like Bollywood Dreams, which was a musical about, you know, some guy who wants to be a Bollywood star, you know. So when we try doing stuff like this, it's just tough, especially because our generation has this identity that's very mixed and very confused. So to try to get something that everyone connects to, where aunties and uncles and kids and grandfathers and everybody that we want to, you know, in this community come out to watch, it's very hard to find work that we all, you know, can relate to.
Now Parwaz Playhouse has announced its first film project, which is yet to be named. This film will be a directorial debut for Adil Ahmed, who is a trained actor and has also worked in television shows like Law and Order. This up-and-coming theatre group has the potential to provide good theatre, and the directors and actors of this group can also be good cultural ambassadors for Pakistan and Pakistani Americans. Salim Rizvi, Bridges TV in New York City.